This is KJCT, Channel 8, Grand Junction, a member of Pikes Peak Broadcasting. Action 8 News is next.
I'm Becky Miller. There was a special party today in Grand Junction. I'll tell you about it tonight on Action 8 News.
College Mavericks. And an estimated 75 million Americans tuned in to watch the day after. Stay tuned for details on these stories and more next on Action 8 News.
From Western Colorado's award-winning news center, KJCT. This is Action 8 News Weekend Report with Bobby Gene Owensby and Steve Janaka. And now, Action 8 News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. As many of you know, tonight ABC and Channel 8 aired The Day After, a drama that showed us the effects of a nuclear war. An estimated 75 million people tuned in. Even before its debut, The Day After began stirring up a massive moral debate. Pro-nuclear forces say it shows the need for a strong arsenal, while anti-nuclear forces are renewing their call for a nuclear freeze. In part 4 of her series, Nowhere to Run, Action 8's Marianne Bannister shows us local reactions to the film. Here's her report.
Tonight, Americans watched as Kansas City was wiped off the face of the earth by a nuclear bomb. Although it was a dramatization, the film touched close to home for 6 viewers, especially one who's from Kansas City. When it was over, there was only one word used to describe the day after: devastating.
I was really impressed how realistic it was. At first I thought, well, when they moved back and forth, all the different scenes, it didn't seem as realistic, but once I got into the nuclear part of it, it seemed very realistic. I was overwhelmed.
This is very realistic. How much do we know and what should we do? How much should we be prepared for something like this, whether it was political or not political? We people, I think, that aren't in the political situation in the high offices, we don't concern ourselves about that. I think our concern should be, what can we do? What should we do? Like has been mentioned before, the aftermath of the whole thing.
Do you think the production was one-sided at all in a political aspect?
I don't feel like it was. It just presented what could happen, what might happen, and if it does happen, what our chances are.
It seemed like it'd be hard to be either side. When you're dealing with catastrophe, it seems like everything's pretty obvious, pretty cut and dry.
This film raised many questions, and so it should have. For the next few nights, we're going to try to find some answers by going to Washington and talking to lawmakers and military officials on Nowhere to Run. Marianne Bannister, Action 8 News.
The Mace College Mavericks received a very important phone call today. Steve Janaka is here to tell us all about it. Steve?
I tell you what, it was a very important phone call. For the second straight year, Mace College Mavericks, well, they are indeed going to the playoffs. And it all started this morning, well, at about roughly around 12 noon when the phone call came. Well, the phone call came from Kansas. And there's John Rossello, Vice President of Mesa College. The phone call was simply, yes, you're in the playoffs. Yes, you will be hosting the Game 1 of the NAIA playoffs against Eastern New Mexico. The press was there and more, and, well, a little bit more had to be said a little bit later on as we will look not only at who they're going to play, talk with Bob Cortese and the pairings and more.
Okay, thank you very much, Steve. In other news, a fiery plane crash at the Boulder County Airport has claimed 4 lives. According to officials, the plane crashed while attempting to land. A Denver man that allegedly pulled a gun and began firing into a crowd last night is dead. Police officers responding to the scene of the disturbance fired on 21-year-old Daniel Trejo. They say Trejo was shooting into a crowd of teenagers. 2 of them were injured. They fired to prevent any more injuries. The shootings are under investigation by the Denver District Attorney's Office and reportedly involve members of the so-called mini mafia gang. Siamese twin girls born to a Steamboat Springs woman remain in critical but stable condition at Denver's Children's Hospital tonight. The 2 weigh about 4 pounds each and have separate hearts and lungs. But doctors are still working to determine if they share any other vital organs. The girls are joined at the chest. Still to come on Action 8 News, violence continues to plague Beirut. Stay with us for details.
Colleges of Grand Junction.
Here at Sirloin Stockade, we're not afraid to say we have the best meal deal in town for your dollar.
Can you beat a club steak or a chicken fried steak with potato and stockade toast anytime for $1.99?
Try to beat our 12-ounce transfer special. Includes potato and stockade toast for only $3.99.
We challenge any other restaurant to provide a delicious meal for a price as good as ours.
The challenge is on at Sirloin Stockade, 1960 12th Street, Grand Junction.
Spending time together in a special way. Side by side we do, sharing dreams that happen every day. Warm and tender feelings, friendships old and new. Every moment means so much, being here with you. It's that special time, yours and mine, as close as we can be. It's that special feeling on KJCT. That special feeling on KJCT.
Israeli warplanes fired on Syrian-held positions near Beirut today. Mike McCourt has more from Lebanon.
The Israeli raid was officially said to be directed against positions held by Palestinian and Muslim Druze militias in the mountains east of Beirut. But there are reports here that some Syrian artillery batteries were bombed as well. The attackers did not escape unmarked. An Israeli-made Kafir fighter bomber was shot down. Its pilot parachuted unhurt into a Lebanese army position south of Beirut. The hit was scored by a Russian missile fired by Syrian batteries, exactly as predicted by the Syrian defense minister, who said this week that Israeli fire would be met with fire. The Israeli raid was the second in 5 days against suspected guerrilla strongholds in Lebanon. Meantime, in the northern port of Tripoli, rebel Palestinian forces with Syrian support continued their relentless shelling of the city. Their target, PLO fighters loyal to Chairman Yasser Arafat, fired back in what has now become a brutal Syrian-inspired Palestinian civil war. Shells fell everywhere in Tripoli today and in the Palestinian refugee camp of Badawi, which both rebels and loyalists still claim to hold, but which each side admits is no longer of much concern. In short, there is now a war of attrition underway in Tripoli, with both sides now apparently determined to wear the other down by the sheer volume of their shelling. The combination of fighting in Tripoli and the Israeli strike just east of here has meant an extraordinarily violent day in a country where fighting has for so long been a way of life. And there is an ominous feeling here tonight that worse is to come, that Tripoli may well be destroyed by people who don't belong there, and that a major confrontation is now building between Israel and Syria. Mike McCourt, ABC News in Beirut.
Here at home, Denver is off limits to Soviet journalists and diplomats. The State Department presented a list of U.S. cities close to the Soviet Union officials today. Also off limits are Dallas, Houston, and the high-technology Silicon Valley in California. Officials say sometimes cities are put on the off-limits list for no particular reason other than to match a similar area in the Soviet Union. Others are included for security reasons. There were some hearty appetites satisfied this morning at a pancake breakfast sponsored by the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 4663. Along with pancakes, you got all the trimmings, and $2.50 bought all you could eat. The VFW will be holding these breakfasts throughout the winter. They're open to the public. More snow is expected in the mountains. Steve Janaka is coming up with all the details. Stay with us.
It's hot, it's here, it's now. It's Pontiac for 84 at your Colorado Pontiac dealers. Move up today to a group of Pontiacs specially built for the high country. Front-wheel drive Sunbird in $6,000. They may be priced like a Ford or a Chevy, but they're pure Pontiac. And the excitement doesn't end there. 84 Pontiac means luxury, room, style, and drive. So why settle for a car when you can move up to excitement? See your Colorado Pontiac dealer today.
We build excitement. Pontiac. Spending time together in a special way. Side by side we do, sharing dreams that happen every day. Warm and tender feelings, friendships old and new. Every moment means so much, being here with you. It's that special time, yours and mine, as close as we can be. It's that special feeling on KJCT. That special feeling on KJCT.
There's been some pretty devastating weather across the country today.
I tell you what, I'd be happy to live in Colorado, or should I say that, maybe the southwest portion of the state. But I tell you what, I woke up this morning, looked out the window, and there was some white stuff on the ground.
I was excited.
Mother Nature, you were excited. I had to shovel it. She's excited. Well, let's go to our current condition, let you know what's happening right now. Currently outside, we've got 43 degrees outside, humidity, Bobby Gene, at 62%. Winds out of the south, 16 miles an hour. Barometric pressure, 29.45, and on the rise. Of the current conditions, Montrose a 43, Rifle 42, Moab a 46-degree reading. And now when Bobby Gene said devastating, boy, she was right. In fact, Donner Pass out in California, they had 14 inches. Lake Tahoe had like 8 inches of snow there all along this frontal system that currently all stems from a low-pressure system in Wyoming. Precipitation all along that. Precipitation in Colorado, snow southwest, north, west, you name it. We'll get to that momentarily. But snow all the way from Idaho, Wyoming, Nevada, all down in the portions of Flagstaff, down into Arizona, having their problem there. You can see by the temperatures, a little cool, 41, that in Salt Lake City. More weather, Bemidji in Minnesota, they had problems as much as an inch of snow today. More rain down in the southeast. Rain, in fact, they cited 5 tornadoes, 4 of those in Florida. Georgia had a tornado sighted in the southeastern portions of that state. One mobile home was turned over. Rain as far east as Mississippi. On, of course, also associated with this low-pressure system up in Michigan with a cold front into a warm front with that. We'll be back to talk Colorado weather with you right after this.
Hi, I'm Will from Will's TV, and this is Guard Dog Fang, and we're sitting here watching 2 Quasar color TVs. One is real low priced, $319.95 with a trade-in, but you have to turn the tuner and turn the volume up and down. And the other has a remote that just won't quit. Did you ever see a remote like that? That set'll do everything but make your coffee and runs the videotape recorder from the remote. They're all down at Will's TV, 415 Pitkin, Quasar Land. Wouldn't you rather have a Quasar?
Get that special feeling on KJCT with Good Morning Colorado. Hi, I'm Marianne Bannister. Join me every weekday morning at 7:25 and 8:25 when I'll bring you up to date on local and regional news that's occurred overnight on Good Morning Colorado. Start your day off right with David Hartman and Joan London on Good Morning America, and with me, Marianne Bannister, on Good Morning Colorado.
that special feeling on KJCT.
For a lot of western Colorado, when you wake up tomorrow morning, it's going to be white outside. A lot of snow. In fact, they're expecting as much as 10 to 12 inches of snow in the southwest portion of the state. Currently, Monarch Pass and most of the passes, Mullis Pass and Monarch, as you mentioned, Monarch Wolf Creek Pass, chains and adequate snow tires are required. So that's snow all the way again from the southwest all the way up. Craig is reporting snow there. Also, Glenwood Springs reporting some snow. And the temperature is quite cool. 38 today. That's the high in Glenwood, 35 in Rifle. Our high 49. All associated with that cold front that was moving through stemming from that low pressure system in Wyoming, heading east, and well, it's going to drop a lot of snow. In fact, they're expecting 3 to 7 inches of snow in the mountains, save for the southwest. Eastern Colorado, very pretty mild, 62 today, high to 61 in Pueblo. But again, the brunt of the weather, and there is some travelers advisories in the mountains, especially southwestern mountains. So if you're going to travel, do take note, be prepared. Let's go to the forecast for Grand Junction vicinity. Well, it looks like this. Tonight, cloudy. We're going to have about a 30% chance of precipitation tonight. Tomorrow, it's going to be colder, Bobby Gene, and cloudy, a 20% chance. Low 30 tonight, high tomorrow will be 41. For Montrose, cloudy, again the scattered snows, 40% chance tonight. Tomorrow, cloudy, colder, rain and snow, 42 your high tomorrow, 19 your low. Rifle and vicinity, snow likely and windy, and again, travelers advisory in the mountains. Again, if you're going to do some traveling, be in touch with the, of course, State Highway Patrol. Tomorrow, cloudy, colder with periods of snow, 40 the expected high tomorrow for Rifle, 21 your low. And for Moab, scattered snow, but look for some variable cloudiness, occasional periods of snow coming up. Again, 44 your high, 32 your low. Yes, winter is here, and break out your skis.
I've got them out already.
Right,
they've been out. But it's nice to know winter's finally here since it's almost Thanksgiving.
I'm looking forward to a suntan come summer.
Thanks a lot. Coming up next, a visit with some special families. Stay tuned.
We're about to see an extraordinary line of light bulbs, Sylvania Energy Pinchers. They're engineered to use a lot less energy, yet still shine just as brightly as ordinary bulbs. In fact, Sylvania Energy Pincher light bulbs use so little energy, they seem to run on nothing. Energy Pincher light bulbs. ESP energy-saving products from Sylvania.
Yes? Special delivery.
McGruff here. 2 years ago in Detroit, the crime business was booming. So these folks got together with the cops and formed a neighborhood watch program. Nice going, guys. You know, crime here dropped 50%.
We made a difference. And you can, too.
Find out more. Write to this address and help take a bite out of crime.
Every year, many families are blessed with children through adoption, and today some local families gather to celebrate the start of Adoption Week. The purpose of Adoption Week is to give thanks for the children placed in homes, as well as offer hope for those still in need. Action 8's Becky Miller has more.
Joe and Linda Skinner opened up their home today for a potluck dinner to celebrate Adoption Week. The parents that were there are interested in adoption. Many already have adopted children. 2 months ago, the Skinners adopted a Korean baby girl. It's very difficult to adopt a healthy American baby. Minorities have a waiting period of 1 to 2 years, but that's not nearly as long as Caucasian families have to wait.
It takes 5 to 7 years to adopt an Anglo-American baby. Because of that, many families adopt foreign children. Most families would prefer to wait 1 to 2 years and go to Korea or South America, India, the Philippines. There are very active adoption programs through all of these countries, and there are agencies waiting to help them bring those children into permanent homes.
Adopting a foreign baby is easy and is actually a matter of paperwork and money. Some of the parents we talked with have birth and adopted children.
We just felt that there are so many children in the world that need a home, that are deprived, and it was just a feeling on both my wife's and my part that we would go out and find a child that we could bring to our home because we have so much.
Love has no boundaries, and the parents at today's party just want to make the children happy and raise them with kindness and affection. Becky Meller, Action 8 News.
Coming up next, Steve Janaka and all of today's sports news. Stay tuned.
Santa Claus is coming to town, and he's heading for Junction East Plaza, the home of these 7 friendly merchants. Enjoy a whole day of excitement Saturday, November 26th, starting at 10 a.m. with prize giveaways, live radio remotes, a free balloon ride drawing, refreshments, and more. Don't miss the excitement Saturday, November 26th, with a whole day of fun all wrapped into one big package. Santa's waiting to see you at Junction East Plaza, the home of 7 friendly merchants at 3038 I-70 Business Loop. Just look for the big trampoline and the little guy in the red suit. Tuesday, November 22nd at 1 p.m., Grimsley & Company will conduct an absolute sale of this 3-bedroom home at 562 29 1/4 Road. This home has luxuries too numerous to mention. Terms are $5,000, day of sale in cash or certified funds, balance due by December 13th. Property sold as is and where is, with no guarantees or warranties, either implied or expressed, sold to the highest bidder. No reserve, no minimum. Open houses on dates listed. Contact Grimsley & Company at 434-9660 for more information. That's Tuesday, November 22nd at 1 p.m.
Lots of good news and good games today.
Well, if you're a Bronco fan and a Maverick fan, yes, it was great. What a story, though, today. Denver Broncos, a big win over Seattle. The final today was 38-27 over the Seahawks. The hero, or should we say heroes, if you will, were many. Steve Wilson, 3 interceptions. What was it? Rich Carlos, he had 5 field goals. Gary Kubiak, yes, Virginia, Gary Kubiak, rookie of Texas A&M, the quarterback, he was a hero, too. Let's go to some of the highlights. One of the first plays of the ballgame, fumble, and guess who's going to hop on it? Yes, old number 53, Gradishar. You remember him. That set up a field goal by Carlos. 43-yarder, 1 of 5 for him on the day, Bobby Gene. 3-0 at that point. We're not done yet. Watch this. Craig going long, and who in the hands of Steve Wilson? 1 of 3 interceptions for that young man. And didn't take long. Pass out to the flats to Steve Watson, the Kubiak to Watson connection. It doesn't quite have the ring, but it worked. And at that point, it was, what, 10-0? Not bad. Watch this little move right here. Back to pass goes Craig, and he's got some grease on his fingers. Fumble. We're not done yet. Watch this little move, and he gets the ball stripped. Jackson picks it up, and I guess he's a step slower. He deserves it. Takes it downfield, and that's gonna set up more points for the Denver Broncos. And watch this move coming up. Handoff real high, round in, and even though he does have that hamstring, the man can motor it into the end zone for the touchdown. Later on, it's a pass over the middle. Randy Gradishar again with the turnover. 8 turnovers in the ball game by Seattle. You don't deserve to win. And this little move by Kubiak, he's going to go in for the touchdown right here. Broncos looking oh so good. 27-7 at that point. Punt later downfield. Watch this move. No, the Broncos don't get it, but it's going to set up probably the play of the game coming up. Seattle gets it right there, but it's going to be back to pass goes Craig. Watch 75 rule on Jones, a safety. Broncos with the big win. Now, that win puts the horses all by the lonesome in second place in the AFC West, and, well, one of the top 4 teams to watch for in the AFC wild card battle spot. Now, the game Skins, well, won their 10th of the year by beating the Rams 42-20, and so much for the Steelers' 7-game winning streak. Vikes beat them 17-14. Cowboys scalped the Chiefs today 41-21, and thank goodness for the Hail Mary pass. Falcons used it today against the Niners. Billy White Shoes Johnson scoring late to give Falcons the win, 28-24. And it was the Fish over the Colts, 37-0.